For the past 5 months, all I have done is farm chickens. In this time, I have traveled millions of blocks, completely optimized my gameplay, and invented strategies of farming this silly little bird in ways I can guarantee you have never seen. But there's a problem. There are other players literally modifying their game and leaving their chicken farms running all day, every day, just to get more than me. And with a mere 5 minutes per day, I've decided I'm going to win. Not only just to beat them, but to prove that with enough effort, even the most impossible of challenges can be destroyed. I started this challenge on the 1st of January 2026 with the intention of spending 5 minutes per day on one Minecraft world to see what I could achieve in 1 year. Obviously this escalated just a little bit, but for the time being my goal was to get myself an elytra, since in my mind it would be too inefficient to start doing anything without it. By the end of the first 5 minutes I'd got myself some iron, and by the end of day 2 had full iron tools and half armor. Day 3, I went exploring for more food and a lava pool to enter the nether, as it's a lot faster than getting a diamond pickaxe and mining obsidian. While traveling, it was also important that I grabbed some early gunpowder to support my first batch of firework rockets after the dragon. This village was helpful though, as it supplied me the healthy amount of food to allow me to go back into the caves and look for my lava. On day 4, I found a mineshaft under a river, which supplied me with a good amount of string, something I needed for the rest of the challenge. I ended up the day getting some more iron, lapis, and my first diamonds. On day 5 was when I finally found my lava pool located in a deep dark. But the bad nether spawn wasn't the only thing that changed that day, as this was the day the chicken challenge fully began.
Welcome to Ryan 3000, the channel on the internet. I must play Minecraft, one Minecraft day every day for 1 year. That's 20 minutes in real life time. Maybe the most important of all, 1 subscriber equals 1 chicken. So, I don't know, I thought those were pretty cool rules.
Not only did Ryan have something to aim for in his series, but he was doing 4 times the work I was. What was the point of what I was doing? I could have easily have upped my time to 30 minutes and called it a day, you know, because 30 is more than 20, and therefore I'm doing more work and my ego settles. I decided I was going to stick to my rules. 5 minutes per day in a vanilla Minecraft world with only now a new purpose. That by the end of the year, to have more chickens than anyone else. I thought it was quite interesting, but little did I know choosing this option would affect my entire life, obsessing over every optimization, mechanic, and strategy. But we'll get onto that later. I gathered enough obsidian for a second nether portal and started the search of the 4 nether quadrants to find a fortress. Today, I also received some rather curious information. I was not the only one who saw Ryan's video and was trying to beat him, which to be honest in retrospect was pretty obvious. He has over 20 million subscribers on his main channel. In total, I found 3 other channels that seemed like they knew what they were doing, with each choosing the exact same rule set as Ryan of 20 minutes per day, putting me at a huge disadvantage. My main concern from these 3 was Citric, who posted a video demonstrating an optimal chicken farm design using eggs for Ryan's challenge. The reason he was such a threat is that he had somewhat good knowledge of Minecraft mechanics, including entity cramming bypasses, which he implements with vines. However, I was making progress of my own, because after a whole 3 days of searching the nether quadrants, I had found my fortress on day 10. On this one day, I gathered up every blaze rod I would need to beat the game and built my second nether portal to return to the overworld and find the stronghold. On day 11, I gathered more food, which was quite difficult due to it being a collection of snow biomes. I then measured the angle of 2 eyes of Ender to triangulate the coordinates for the stronghold using a calculator, which speedrunners use. By this point, I was very close to beating the game and acquiring my elytra. However, my opponents weren't messing around either. Ryan by this point was falling behind, having about 100 chickens, while the other 3 had several hundred chickens each and fully functional iron farms, a crucial element to making the egg farm design on a mass scale. No hate to Ryan by the way, he said himself that he's taking this challenge at his own pace and is not bothered about getting more than anyone else. Just because Ryan was out of the race didn't mean he didn't affect the competition. You see, at this point, even with 100 chickens, Ryan's channel following had increased to over 20,000 subscribers, resulting in him implementing an AFK rule to allow him to rack up chickens overnight and complete his personal challenge. And while he was only still playing directly for 20 minutes per day, this still let his chicken numbers skyrocket. But the problem itself was that he wasn't the only one to do it. Everyone else did too. Of course, there was also no point to me implementing this new rule since I was stranded in the middle of a snowy taiga and had no farm built. Besides, I didn't want to anyway. In my opinion, introducing an AFK element removed the challenge for me, since it turns from a challenge of optimization to who can leave their computer on for longer. But you might be wondering now, how do I plan to win with only 5 minutes per day versus their full 24 hours? Well, my dear viewer, we will get to that shortly. But first, we have an ender dragon to kill. Welcome guys to day 15 of the 5-minute world, or the chicken challenge. This is a low stronghold. Yeah. Low-T efficiency. Efficiency is good. We take efficiency. Unbreaking 3, we take unbreaking 3. Okay, lava. Okay, let me bridge. I had to raid a few more end cities to collect the extra 4 elytra I estimated that I would need. To be able to achieve what I plan to do, I need several farms to produce the resources needed to make my mega build of a chicken farm. For example, the Enderman experience farm is needed to get necessary enchants on my tools, such as looting, silk touch, and efficiency. But what is my chicken farm? To understand that, we need to understand the different types of chicken farming. Currently, the only 2 methods being implemented by the other runners were the breeding of chickens for early guaranteed numbers, and then egg farms, which on the surface appeared to be the fastest method. The reason egg farming is so good is that it can be scaled extremely easily, resulting in rapid exponential growth as the more it produces, the faster it gets. But what you'll see later is that I'm not going to use any of these. But let's get back to this Enderman farm, because it was day 24 and I had all the materials I needed to build it. Oh my gosh, the stress is actually getting to me so much. I have like no rockets left. I thought that was, oh my gosh, I thought the entire run was just over. And on the last moment of January, I made it back to spawn, ready to start phase 2 of my plan. See, I was obviously falling behind on chickens right now, but the way I'm playing this challenge compared to everyone else is different. I'm front loading all my tasks first, before building my chicken farm. This means I'm able to make a much bigger farm, with the cost of letting others get in the lead at the start. The material list first required a shulker box full of logs, so I gathered some food from villages and flew down a cave for a couple starter stacks of redstone dust, as we'll have a much better source of this later. The farm we are building here is a semi-automatic dark oak tree farm by Squilly, which uses moving blocks to reduce blast resistance and blow up the entire tree in one go. To build it, I did also need some nether materials, mainly being quartz and half a stack of bone blocks. Admittedly, I had become too focused on my own goals. I had not checked up on any of my opponents in over 2 weeks, and that was almost the single biggest mistake of the entire challenge. Remember back to the egg farming and how I said, as the more it produces, the faster it gets? Well, since the start of the challenge, basically all of Ryan's comments were spamming about how the challenge would be impossible, from the sheer amount of chicken entities that would be loaded in the world, which would eventually cause the world to crash repeatedly. Now, obviously these comments were right, but still, it puts a spanner in the works for me because I had a way around it. I was planning on launching myself to the world border and using a mechanic in gold farms called world border compression to send all my chickens to one spot where I could then ship them off to unloaded chunks to never be seen again. But, understandably, Ryan doesn't know Minecraft tech. He's fresh back to the game, so what he did is installed potentially my worst nightmare, Row Stacker. Wanna know what Row Stacker does? Literally compresses all of your chickens into one chicken to get rid of all of the lag. And Ryan wasn't the only one using it. The other 3 were too. It even got to the point that the player in first, John, had so many chickens to where the other 2 straight up gave up. But I had no idea that this was happening. I was too caught up in farming Enderman and dark oak trees to even notice. But when I checked, it was horrifying.
Okay, perfect. We got a minute left. We're gonna play setback and 100, 200,000 chickens. Ready? Those guys should merge. They're really close. Guys, we have about 200. We have as many subscribers as Ryan.
I could have just installed the plugin myself, but like the timer, the AFK, I was stubborn and I was gonna pay the price. Because in order to win now, I had to outcompete a farm which produced more chickens in a day than I thought was possible in the entire year, with 5 minutes a day. And to be honest, I didn't think it was possible. To be able to beat John in my chicken count, I needed to act fast between 5-minute recordings and come up with a flawless plan to somehow win this war. During this testing, I found a third way to farm chickens. It uses the game's passive mob spawning algorithm to make my chickens. Think of it like the hostile mob spawning we're also used to. Take that, make it light instead of dark, and add some grass underneath, and there you go. You have a functioning passive mob farm. There were a few drawbacks with this method though. The first being that it was 400 times slower than regular hostile mob spawning. The other is that it isn't even guaranteed that a chicken spawns. It could just be something useless like this cow over here. I did find that the sparse jungle biome was the best for this method though, coming in a roughly 34% chance for each attempt to be a chicken. It had also been a few days since John had hit 250,000. So I thought I'd just go and check on his progress. No.
String, because, or not string, torches, because there's mobs everywhere in here. There's one up there. There's probably some down there, but no, not right now. Okay, so yeah, as you guys see here, 1, 2, 3, yeah, we have 1 million. This is easily 1 million chickens. Without a doubt, this is 1 million chickens. This is insane. This is absolutely insane. Man, this farm is beautiful.
Yeah, I was screwed. Sorry, excuse my language, but there was nothing I could do. This new method I had was the slowest method yet, and I didn't even stand a chance of using eggs to outcompete 24 hours. It looked like this war had a winner before it even started. I was just gonna scrap this video. But we all love an underdog story, don't we? Because at the point of John hitting 1 million, I had a new idea. An idea, a chicken farming method so powerful that it breaks this entire war wide open. How could I have been so stupid? The Nether, the Other's worlds, it was there the entire time. This, everyone, is the key to ultimate chicken farming. With my new plan set in motion, I flew out to find a swamp to get started on the next material I would need. For my farm, the most expensive requirement by far is a chest full of redstone blocks. That's why we're in a swamp, where I'm currently looking for a witch hut which has the special property to only be able to spawn witches inside its bounding box. And since witches drop lots of redstone, it's perfect for what we need. Okay, so I've decided to add a AFK rule where I'm allowed to sub 1 minute of my time each day to an hour of AFK. So I'm allowed up to 5 hours of AFK per day. It's just I don't want to AFK, but it's kind of the only option. So I'm sorry about that. But yeah, I'm gonna keep building this witch farm. It's just a shame that there's no other option because otherwise it's literally impossible. I now had all the redstone blocks that I needed, but at the cost of 1.5 months. John was now at 100 million chickens. So how are we going to beat him with chicken jockeys? Well, the reason that these mobs are so powerful is because they don't rely on the passive algorithm to spawn. Since it's a zombie, it uses the hostile one, the algorithm that works 400 times faster, but it gets even better. We can use a mechanic called zombie reinforcement spawning, a mechanic that spawns more zombies when a leader zombie takes damage, and that can be a chicken jockey. So if you can get enough leader zombies and enough snowballs to hit them, you can make the fastest chicken farm possible. To deal with the lag of all these entities though, we still need to go to the world border. So along with building a really simple cobblestone farm, that's what I needed to do next. To get to the world border, we use something called lazy linking, which is having a pig at the edge of your render distance so it can't move, and pushing it to the player with pistons while it's technically still in the minecart. This lets us stack insane amount of momentum onto the pig whilst it's in its state, enough to take us all the way to the world border. One over the observer, which is correct. So that, and then it goes down. There. Welcome, guys. Day 128. I need to play this perfectly. I'm not gonna let myself just take a loss. These hoppers are here if you reuse the machine, which I'm not gonna do, so. Everything is now done. Are we good to go? 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 Let's go for it. Oh my gosh. Let's do this. Okay, that's it. We should be there. Oh. Yo, that was so cool. That was so cool. I'm still using that intro. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. We're moving left to right. We're moving left to right. Okay, this is what I meant. This is what I meant. We're skewed off and we're gonna get shoved against the corner in theory, probably, maybe, hopefully, please. 810,000 or something. We are at the flippin' world border, bro. We're here, we're here. That's it loaded. Oh, it's an ocean, bet. We are at the world border. But now that I'm at the world border, really, nothing is impossible anymore. John 3000 thinks he can win with his rose stacker. I have done this in complete vanilla with basically just 5 minutes a day every single day. I've had my up to 5 hours AFK days. But now that I'm at the world border, there is no stopping me. John 3000 has said he has a chance of winning. Toby 3000 said that Emmy Squid could not overtake him. So the interesting thing about chance, guys, is that it's just a concept. A computer cannot be random. It can't have chance. Everything is mathematically derived. And once you understand that, you can understand everything. Everything. And I mean everything. We have 7 more months of this. If you think that you have a chance of winning, you're wrong. Because everything from the start has been planned. Chance does not exist. Chance is just a figment of your imagination. Because there's a 5th method of chicken farming.